Hi, this is Jen here, and today I am wearing my favorite bright red lipstick. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt overwhelmed? Yeah? Well, good. That probably means you're not an alien or a praying mantis, right? Because you're human, right? We humans feel overwhelmed sometimes. Life is messy, and that is perfectly normal. But if you are losing your eyesight, chances are you are feeling overwhelmed more often than most, because your eyesight is such a key, integral sense that we use for so many aspects of our day. And that's what I want to talk about today. Feeling overwhelmed and feeling okay. There was a time in my life when I felt completely and utterly overwhelmed. In fact, there's been several different points in my life. The one that comes to mind most recently was when my eyesight had tanked dramatically about 7 years back, and I had a new baby. I was feeling completely and utterly overwhelmed. How was I going to get through all the hours and minutes and days and years ahead when I couldn't even get through today? I'm glad to say I don't feel that way now. So what changed? I still live in the same place. I still have the same child. In fact, another one, right? A little bit older though. I still eat the same foods. The answer is a lot of things changed, because life is ever-changing. And quite frankly, my eyesight is far worse now than it was then. My point here is that we all feel overwhelmed sometimes, but try to remember that feeling very likely will not be there tomorrow or the next day or the next day. But two things I want to mention specifically. One thing that helped me to turn that corner from feeling overwhelmed to feeling okay was a very good book I picked up. It was a 235-page book, Hope and Help for Your Nerves. And obviously I read it in Braille, but I know that it has been reprinted many, many times. It's by Dr. Claire Weeks, and I'm not saying that all of it is applicable if you are feeling overwhelmed, but it helped me to understand what was going on in my body when I was having this feeling, which in turn made me less afraid, because it doesn't feel good to feel overwhelmed, right? Sometimes I would feel as though I were losing my mind, or I couldn't breathe, or my heart was racing. Not a good feeling. And this book, Hope and Help for Your Nerves, helped me to understand that all those feelings don't do any long-term damage. Even though they don't feel good, they're perfectly normal, and it's our body's fight or flight mechanism actually trying to help us. The second thing that helped me turn that corner was a bit odd. There was a day when my baby was so young and I felt as though I were just so anxious I had to get out of the house. So I bundled him up into the stroller and I just walked and walked and walked to an area that was pretty far from my house. And I passed by a man who looked to be about 102 years old. And I don't know how old he really was, but again, at that time, I had a little more eyesight than I do now. And he was watering his yard, and I can't remember how the conversation even started. We spoke for a few minutes. He had lived there with his wife for over 50 years. Funny, I hadn't met him before, but then again, I had walked pretty far. And he said, you know, when I was getting ready to leave, he said, always remember that yesterday is history and tomorrow is a mystery. Live for today. It's God's gift to you. And I think that really stuck with me because, again, when you feel overwhelmed, sometimes that feeling, as lousy as it is, doesn't feel good, but it will pass. Always remember, it will pass. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Live for today. It's God's gift to you. So if you are feeling overwhelmed today, take a deep breath, cut yourself some slack, and remember that it probably, most likely, will pass, and tomorrow you could wake up, or even later on in the day, and feel so very much better. But always be kind to yourself. And if you need to be on medication to help you through the anxiety and the feelings of being overwhelmed, then do so. Do so. Going blind is hard. It's hard, and it's a lifelong process of adjustment. Is it doable? Absolutely. I lead a rich, fulfilling, happy life, and you can too. So try to take that journey from feeling overwhelmed to okay. This is Jen signing off. Bye.